Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we are returning to ReZero. I'm so excited. I don't really want to talk for long, but I do also want to share a few things that I realized while I was editing the video. So for episode 1, that is. I know I've literally just said hello, but I'm about to start dropping, potential theories, I guess, that I have. The title of the series doesn't make much sense to me. ReZero, starting life in another world, is it? The ReZero part is what was confusing me. So I guess it can be attributed to return to the 0 point, return to the beginning, return to the point in which, maybe realities intersect or something. I don't know. Another thing that I noticed was that when Subaru wakes up after, dying in this alternate world, whatever it happens to be, he always wakes up standing in front of the stall with the guy who sells appas. And that's interesting because I did put an editor's note into episode 1, but that's interesting because the last time we see him in the real world, who's to say that the world he's in now isn't the real world and he was somehow put into the other one, and there's some weird shit happening where, he was kind of tossed aside to this real world as we think it is, but maybe that's the fake world. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not even sure if I want to start theorizing that sort of thing, because that's kind of a crazy hole to go down, at least right now when I don't have anything to back that up. The last time we saw him in the real world, like I said, was in front of a store. He went in and he bought noodles and he bought crisps or potato chips, whatever you want to call them. And that's interesting because it's almost like this other world is a complete mirror of the real world. The fact that this stall that he's in front of is representative of that store that he left. Perhaps. Maybe I'm off my rocker, maybe I'm looking too deep into things, but I think those are interesting observations. Just wanted to share that because I'm really excited to check out episode number 2. So another thing that I want to talk about is the fact that I will actually be checking out the original Blu-ray version broadcast release, because when I asked in the comments for the first video, there were more comments recommending that I check out this version with a lot of, pros and cons and everything. And ultimately, it did come down to me at the end of the day. I could have just chosen which version I wanted to check out, but seeing the support behind the original broadcast version, as well as, reading everything that you guys had to say, I felt like this would be much more of an interesting way to check this series out, because this is the way that you guys would have checked this out while this was airing. And I think for me that's actually really exciting and really intriguing, because I get the experience that a lot of you guys would have got when you were watching the series for the first time. And to me, that just sounds and seems really cool. So I wanted to do that. I'm not going to take up much more of your time. If you enjoy this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment, letting me know how you feel about the series. If it's your favorite series, what your other favorite series are. I'd love to hear, but please refrain from spoiling, because I am really, really excited to watch this series. And I kind of like to theory craft, so I don't really want spoilers in the chat. So yeah, thank you so much for the support in that first video. Thank you so much for the support across the channel. And here we go. We're just going to dive into episode number 2 now. So let's go. Episode 2, ReZero. Whew, it's got to be a fun one. Oh, we are right back into the middle of the action here. Oh god, I don't even want to know what she's thinking right now. How do you explain that? Oh god. Taboo? He's getting... This is like the worst version for him. Oh no. Honestly, at this point, the absolute shit show of a life this is right now for Subaru, he might as well just go back to to old man Rom, to Felt, and just like, you know, meet the same fate at the end of, I can't remember her name, her knife that killed him in the last life, because holy shit, this is not going well at all for him. So at that point, you know, at least in the next life, he can redo it all, you know, pun because of the name of the opening song, but with that knowledge in mind so that he can, you know, avoid the worst possible outcome, which I feel like we just saw. And I will see how things can only get better, I guess. Yeah, seriously? What's the deal with that mystery? They're back. Is he dead? Jeez. Oh god, okay. Huh. Oh, he's starting to realize he's in a death loop. When he dies, he goes back to the 0 point. Hey. He just goes straight back into character. That's really funny. No scarring, no cuts, no wounds. Okay, Rorinoa Zoro. Return by death. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, honestly. Pathetic suits me perfectly. That's right, Sadler. Emilia. Sorry, Sadler. Context, I guess. I only know Emilia's name because of when I was checking out the openings, I was told her name. Ah, yes. Better do something. Yappa? That's Emilia, alright. She is indeed a Yappa. What a good guy. Strong sense of morals. Oh shit. That's her. Huh. Oh, Emilia herself did it. I see. So, okay, I get it. I was confused. Elsa, that's the name. Yeah. Oh god, why do you keep going down this alleyway? Larry Boy Curly. The Three Stooges. Huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down, no? Doesn't even sound like him anymore.
ほんの少しだけビビっちゃったじゃねえか。
ほんの少しだけ
ほんのちょびっとだけど
Uh-oh. Is this the red-haired guy? It is!
竜の爪痕の刻まれた騎士剣。まさかラインハルト。
Reinhard.
ラインハルトか。
自己紹介の必要はなさそうだ。もっともその2つ名は僕にはまだ重
This
す
cute
ぎる。
guy just looks
僕の
cool.
魅力がどれだけ彼の助けになるかわからないが、もしも強行手段に出るというなら騎士として抗わせてもらうよ。
He's so cool.
なんじゃねえ。割に合わねえよ。
Dude! No, he just scares them.
お互い無事でよかった。怪我はないかい？
Voice actor sounds very familiar, but I'm really bad at that.
ラインハルトさん。
That's me.
呼び捨てで構わないよ、スバル。
さらっと
Is that Gojo?
改めて
Probably not. I'm so bad at names.
俺の叫びを聞
Or
いて駆けつけて
voices.
くれたのはお前だけだぜ。マジ寂しい。
多くの人にとって彼らのようなものと反目するのはリスクが大きい。今日は非番で制服を着てないのもあるし、見た目にいかつさが足りないのは自覚しているところだけどね。
そういえば牽制とか呼ばれてた気がするけど。
Sword
家が少し
Saint.
だけ特殊でね。かけら
Ishin?
れた機体の重さに潰れそうな日々だと思う。
That's so
ところ
sad.
でスバル、君は珍しい髪と服装、そして名前だけど、どこの国から？
I'm from...
今のルグニカは平時より少
I don't
し
know.
落ち着かない状況にある。何か困ったことがあるなら僕でよければ手伝うけど。
俺も名前は知らな
Ah,
いんだけ
yes,
ど。
the
この辺りで白いロー
elf.
ブを着た銀髪の女の子を見なかった。
白いローブに
Says she's a half elf.
付け加えると超絶美少女。
いや、見なかったな。
じゃあもし見かけたら何があっても盗品蔵には近づくなって伝えてくれ。ありがとう。この
Arigato.
礼はいずれ。
I'm sure you will.
気をつけて。
Nah, that's not Gojo. I don't know who that is, but I recognize that voice so well.
そんなら
I
そこの
think.
通りを2本奥に行った先だ。
できれば盗品蔵にフェルトが入る前に捕まえて携帯と気象を交換しちまいたいところだが。あっと。
Oh dear. Oh
大丈夫
no.
こう見えて俺って丈夫なのが通り。
Ooh. Kill her now while her back is turned.
どうしたの？
Get
そ
her
んなに怖
ass.
がらなくても何もしないのだけれど。
Ooh, the OST and the heartbeat?
根拠にそんなこと。
匂い。
That's
怖
terrifying.
がっているとき、その人からは怖がってる匂いがするものよ。あなたは今怖
Yeah.
がって
He is terrified. I would be too.
怒ってもいるわね。私に対して。いいわ。少し気になるけれど、今は騒ぎを起こすわけにはいかないから。
本当じゃない発言だな。あんましビビらせると美人が台無しだぜ。
敵意を隠せばもっと上出来。
Ooh.
それじゃあ失礼するわ。また会えそうな気がするわね。
She's scary as shit. Oh god. That was honestly terrifying. She's got a real nasty aura, an air about her. And that OST accompanying her appearance. Oh.
残念だが私ん家には取るものなんざ何もねえ。帰
Looks like a child.
る。なんだも
やめろ。落ち着け。争ってる場合じゃない。日が暮れる前に。
Holy shit. She would have killed his ass.
消えな。
Holy shit. I can't tell if she's good with this knife or not.
とっとと消えろって言ってんだろ。
だから話を。
So she seems to be just kind of swinging wildly. Holy shit. Isn't that your house? You just destroyed your house like that?
で、要件ってなんだよ。とっとと言え。
俺の要件は一つ。お前が盗んだ気象をこちらで買い取りたい。
依頼人の姉さんとあんたは別口だよな。商売敵か何かか。
商売敵というか親の敵のような相手というか、むしろ俺の敵みたいな感じ。
Yeah.
わかんねえよ。まあ私としては買取価格が高い方に売りつけるだけだ。
たくましいこった。
Very shrewd.
こっちは正金貨で20枚以上の価値のあるものを用意してる。その条件でお前の汽車を買い取りたい。これは巷で大流行。
Oh, it's broken, is it? No. Okay, no, it's not broken. The photo.
これがミーティアの力だ。時間を切り取って凍結させることができる世界で一つだけの
That's so
貴重
funny,
品。
using what he learned in his previous life.
嘘じゃなさそうだな。
I love that actually, that's really cool.
もっと美人だろ
She's gonna be like, I'm gonna need a
う。
second
貧民街の奥に
opinion
同
on
心蔵が
this.
ある。そこにいるロモジーって偏屈じいさんに鑑定してもらうのが公平だぜ。
やっぱそう来るか。
Yeah, you still have to go
よしわ
there.
かった。行こう。すぐ行こう。パッと行こう。ちゃちゃっと行こう。ただし
Yep, let's get there
パ
fast.
ッと終わらせてバシッと出るかな。
おいおい。
We gotta be fast before Elsa shows up.
強く生きろよ。
Live
貧
strong.
民街だとみんなそれ言う。
Oh, we're gonna learn what it means. Are they origin of
あ
it?
んな奴らと一緒にすんな。あいつらみんな口だけで強くもなんともね。少年のしみったれた人生の負け犬どもだよ。
That's not
いくら
very
なんでも
nice.
言い過ぎだろ。
Yeah, that is harsh.
こんな路地裏で一生を終わらせる気なんてさらさらねえんだ。
That's
そ
fair.
れで正金貨20枚でお前のそ
I
の夢
mean-
は叶いそうなのかよ。
目標にでっかく近づくのは間違いねえよ。私一人なら無理すりゃやってけねえこともねえだろうけど。
一人なら。
なんでもねえよ。だよそのにやけ面。
She's a sweetie pie after all.
ちょっと何すんだやめろ。ちょっとわけわかんねえこと言って浸ってんじゃねえよ。
Aw.
噛むぞ。
あの子のためだけじゃない。待ち受ける運命を俺が変えてやる。そのために
いい
俺は
加減にしろっつーの。
She bit him. The patting the head was reminding me of Freerin episode 1. Imagine if Freerin had bit him.
もしもわしが取り扱うなら正金貨で15、あいや20枚はくだらず
There it is. No less than 20.
よっしゃーってなわけで交渉成立。じゃ話は終わりとしてこれからみんなで商談成立の祝いに一杯やりに行こうぜ。
ちょっと待て。
She's not gonna do it without seeing the
な
other
んでそん
person.
なに急いでんだ。
一秒一秒を大切に無駄を極力省く。
はいはい、そういうのはいいんで。つまりこいつはミーティア以上の金になるってこと。
待て、
Oh
お前その
dear.
考えマジに危ういぞ。正金貨20枚以上、その価値で手打っとけ。それ以上は欲しがるな。お前に依頼したやつだって正金貨20枚が限界だ。
語るに落ちてるぜ。関係者だってな。
Oh dear, Subaru.
頼まれてもな。あんたを交渉相手としては認めるよ。でも依頼人の意見を聞かなくちゃフェアじゃね
I mean, that's true, but at the same time.
欲しがるのは元の持ち主に返したいからだ。
ベルト、どうもこの小僧嘘をついてるようには見え
Oh, I'm glad you're
え。
actually like the
殺
most
されんわよ。
helpful character in this whole series.
持ち主に返す？バカバカしい。つくならもっとマシな嘘をつけよ。
Oh shit. Oh dear.
まだ早い気がするけど。
開けるな。殺されるぞ。
Oh, and he's gonna run into her already again.
殺すと
Oh shit!
そんなおっかないこといきなりしたりしないわよ。
That's crazy. Oh my god, she's gonna see him there and be like, yeah, you really are in cahoots. Oh dear. Reunion with the witch. It's over! Damn. This is such a banger. Like, I really like the opening, especially like watching it with the episodes. But oh my god, this ending? This ending is it. I really like this ending a lot. Even though there's not really visuals attached to it, it's just kind of credits. This is an amazing song. And that was episode number 2 of ReZero. That seemed to go by so fast. That was really crazy. I know that's coming off of episode 1, which was like much longer. It was like an hour long. So then this one being like 24-ish minutes long, whatever it happened to be. Obviously it's going to feel very short, but this seemed to go by like that. Like, I didn't click because I would make a loud noise and I didn't want to like edit out the noise, but it went by so fast to the point where I was very surprised once I started hearing that ending music kick in. I did not think the episode was about to end yet. So, you know, I'm still just craving more. I need more. I want more ReZero, and I cannot wait to get more. I will hopefully be recording the next episode again very soon. But oh my god, that was so short. That was way too little. But I know the way around that is to do the director's cut version. But you know, I'm committing to this, and I'm going to be happy with this because I love those cliffhanger moments, and I love that the fact now that I can start to theorize what I think is going to come next. You know, like Satala has shown up before Elsa does, so what's going to come next? This is all uncharted territory. We have never seen this before. We've seen like 3 different iterations of this kind of situation happening, or maybe 2 different iterations, and this is all new. We don't know what's going to happen, so it's very exciting. First of all, you know, Subaru is in hot shit with Emilia Satala because he called her Satla, which is obviously the Witch of Envy, a very taboo name, and a name that you would never even say, never mind call someone something, is I think the exact quote that came from Emilia there. So he's in hot water already. Like right now he is in the shitter. He is not winning points with Emilia whatsoever, and I'm really questioning and wondering now if the only way to fix that is by him dying, so that he can just undo calling her that and, you know, redo it like the name of the ending song. So I'm just like unsure then if this is going to be the life that somehow goes further than than we would expect, because you know, this is kind of like a shitty life for him. Like, this is a shitty version. Like, a lot of things have gone wrong already, but maybe that's why this is going to be somehow the one that goes further, because it seems like the one that will be the worst. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway, I think it's really cool that we got to see Old Man Ape again, who, first of all, in the first episode, I was like, is that Kizaru from One Piece? No, it is not. That is All Might from My Hero Academia. So, you know, that's kind of embarrassing that I didn't recognize that voice, and that I completely butchered the voice actor. But I've done it again in this episode, I'm sure, because the red-haired guy, at first I thought he sounded like Levi's voice actor, you know, Law from One Piece, but I don't know, it kind of sounded Gojo-esque at the same time. Gojo JJK mentioned, of course. So I really don't know who that voice actor is, but he does sound familiar to me. And that's something that I'm really, really bad at. It's recognizing voices, you know, unless you throw a Yuki Kaji at me, I'm not going to be able to recognize it. I need something that is so distinct and so unlike anything else that, you know, it takes for that for me to recognize them. You know, a Dio or something like that. Jotaro Joestar. Like, I need... Or Jotaro Kujo, sorry, not Joestar. What am I talking about? Take away my JoJo privileges at this point. What was that? So I don't know who that voice actor is realistically, because I know I'm probably wrong with the 2 people that I threw out there. But he seems like a really cool character. I really, really dug his kind of like show up and take no business kind of attitude, and he just seemed like a cool guy. I like his look. I like, you know, the design for his character. His voice actor did a great job. Subaru's voice actor did a great job here. He was like all over the place this episode. He was doing silly scene where he's shouting like, guards, come help me. And also in a state of like shock and so like intensely scared when Elsa showed up. So he showed a crazy range in this one episode alone. So huge credit to Subaru's voice actor in this episode specifically. I know he's doing a great job across the whole series, you know, within the 2 episodes I've seen, and I'm sure it continues across all 3 seasons. But this episode alone, he showed crazy range, and I really appreciate that. I loved seeing that. We got a little bit of context for what happens when Subaru isn't the one to rescue Apagai's daughter, or at least bring her back to, the father and stuff. We got to see that it's probably Emilia herself that does it, just her by herself. She finds the child. She's just as broke as Subaru is, and she, brings the child back. And so that's why Apagai, All Might's voice actor, wasn't really like that upset about sharing information, because he appreciated the work that someone else as broke as he did was able to do for him. He really appreciated that. And I think that's really cool. I love seeing like the different ways that those kind of like branching quest lines almost kind of like come together, and like you think, oh, he didn't do that, therefore it's just going to like veer off and not be important, but somehow it ends up returning back, and no matter what he tries to do, everything seems to continue to just meet at a certain point. And I'm sure this is going to continue to do that. I'm sure this series is going to see all these different diverging paths that somehow tend to meet at a point. Whether Subaru himself is trying his best to avoid that or not, I'm sure there's going to be moments kind of reflective of that, and I'm really excited to see that play out, because so far episode 2 we have still only really seen the same thing as we saw in episode 1. This time it was obviously Subaru learning a lot more about himself, a lot more about the world and stuff, and learning more and actually playing by the rules, I guess. Not that there are rules, but he understands now that when he is killed in this world, he returns at a certain point, and he's calling it time leap. I can't remember the actual name he calls it, but is it like returning by death or something? So he's got a silly name for it, power that has a really, really awful setup for it, I guess, condition, I guess. So he's obviously learned more in that sense. He knows and understands that that's something that he can do, and that's something that he can kind of take advantage of. And he even himself says, like, it's very fitting for a pathetic guy like me, or something along those lines. And I thought that was very funny. Felt had a pretty strong role this episode as well. She had a very strong role in the first episode as well, but this episode, she showed up at the beginning. We actually saw her stealing the insignia, and obviously Emilia blaming Subaru for being a part of that. And then we saw Felt show up later when Subaru was showing up to her house and threatening to, basically kill him before she even listens to him talk, and swinging the sword around. I'm not sure if she is proficient with the sword. I'm not sure if she was just swinging it wildly or not. She didn't look like she was really using any technique. She looked like she was just swinging wildly, but at the same time, she did kind of do one crazy big swing at the end to showcase her power and stuff. So I'm just really more curious about like that, and her her strengths and stuff. I know she's a thief. Thieves are generally, quick, they're light-fingered, everything like that. And obviously right before that, we saw Subaru running into Elsa, and oh, that OST was killer. It was so good. That OST kicking in and hearing the heartbeat thumping in my right ear, and just hearing the voices and the chaos, and just making Elsa seem like the most terrifying character in this whole series. That was honestly 10 out of 10. I really, really loved that scene. That scene was incredible. It was so well executed, and it really just showcased Subaru's character a lot, because he didn't know what to do. He wasn't expecting it. But right when he realizes she's onto him, he tries to play it off. He tries to play it cool and be like, oh, like a pretty girl like you, blah, blah, blah. But she's onto him. She's like, I know what you're trying to do here. I will see you again. This is not the last time you'll see me. And I know you were just trying to like play it off just now. So I think she's a really cool and interesting like antagonist character, because she can read Subaru like a book, and Subaru does not know how to conceal those feelings and emotions within himself. I'm sure maybe as the series goes on, he'll learn to do that a bit more. I'm not sure though, but so far that was a really cool scene, and I really, really liked it. Probably my favorite scene across this entire series so far. I know that it wasn't anything crazy, but I really, really liked that scene. And then we go forward, Subaru trying to do his usual shtick with selling his cell phone for the insignia, but obviously Felt saying like, oh, well, I guess I can make more than 20 holy coins for this thing, so I guess I'll look for someone else. And she starts to believe then that Elsa and Subaru are in cahoots with each other, because he knows the amount of coins that Elsa will have. So it's really, really interesting that Felt picks up on that immediately, and she doesn't like back down. She stays on him right up until there's a knock at the door, and we start to feel terrified. We start to feel really just anxious and nervous and really worried for our characters because they're about to die. But you know, we know that that's part of the series at this point. But right as that's about to happen, we're starting to hear the ending theme kick in, like very soon after we see, what do you mean kill you? I would never do something like that. And it's our lovely heroine, it's Satala herself, and she sees Subaru there and she pulls a big face. And yeah, Subaru is in the shits. He is not gonna have a fun time. And yeah, really, I just want to see that play out because I just know that she is going to give him a hard time and that he has nothing he can say because this looks really bad for him. What do I think is going to happen in the next episode? I think they're going to have a big argument and then suddenly Elsa's going to show up. I feel like for some reason I'm imagining the door isn't going to be closed and she's just going to show up and see everyone there and start like either killing everyone or fighting or something. So I feel like there's going to be this big blowout in the next episode, and I think that's probably going to cover the majority of the episode. We're going to have a big fight within this tavern. You know, we're going to have Satala herself, we're going to have Felt, we're going to have Rom, and we're going to have Subaru all fighting one antagonist, and I'm really excited to see that. I hope that's what actually happens. If it isn't, I won't be disappointed, but I'd be curious to see what actually does happen instead. I didn't really see a whole lot in this episode that I could kind of theorize off of. I know that I can't remember his name already. Sword Saint, he mentioned that he is from a royal family or a powerful family. He's the Sword Saint. I want to know more about that because I feel like it wasn't really touched upon that much. It was just kind of like mentioned, and then Subaru was like, I'll pay you back one day. And I know he probably will because I know that I think it's Reinhard, right? Reinhard, Sword Saint, shows up at a game because we saw him very prominently within season 3's opening. So I'm suspecting that he will show up and that he will have an important role. And I'm really excited to see that. I'm really excited to see more of ReZero. This has been a great watch so far. I'm very excited to watch more. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know just how much this series means to you, and if you enjoyed this as well, please consider going and checking out my Frieren series reaction. I'm checking out Frieren episodes as well, and it is a great watch. I did mention Frieren in this episode because of the head pad. It reminded me of Frieren because I just watched Frieren a day or two ago. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope that you're able to take it easy. I hope that you're able to have a great day, and that I will see you in the next one. Take care.